People who, in many instances, have absolutely no clue what they are doing. The Marxists, the anarchists, the looters, the agitators, the Marxists.
It's episode 133. Let's get down to it, folks. It's a name blather. We're going to be real serious here for a second. And we're going to blather inanely for about an hour. So it's the same. Same old, same old. As you can see, if you're a video watcher, you know, you look at Natalie's and it's like, well...
seems pretty satanic.
That's all I know.
Our kids' heads are falling off!
But, it is the terrific trio of blathering... bungholes. Blathering something that starts with a B. Come on, let's go.
Brother.
Oh, that's not what?
The blathering blather. Brothers.
The blathering blothers. I like that one better. Okay.
Hell yeah, brother. That's my new favorite catchphrase.
Hell yeah, brother. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. Okay. That's how we'll do this. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Start over. Okay. For everyone who wants to know how you can more easily explain to your friends the ways in which
mental illness is when you're right wing,
and how
capitalism is bad.
And you can say that you heard it from Ben Shapiro. That is why you listen to Inane Blather.
Truly.
Because
this is absolutely lit.
And because the more you listen, the more you become one with the collective. You become one. You become all. You become...
headstrong, stubborn, quibbling, self-centered, vindictive, obnoxious, hormonal, sexually preoccupied, evil, thieving, cross-dressing jerks.
Each and every one of you.
Very true.
Okay. I got to it.
And thank you for your solidarity.
Yes. You will all form one solid. Natalie just spilled a bunch of Diet Coke all over her computer.
No, I just dropped my microphone so there's going to be a big old bonk.
I know, I was trying to tell you something less embarrassing. No. But it's Monday. The weather's been beautiful. It's been awesome. Even though it rained a little bit, I was totally okay with it. That's how nice it's been. And you know why it rained? You know why? It's because I washed my car yesterday. Hello, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
That's your fault. It's
Never fails.
Oh, man.
We hate all the Muslims.
Okay, what? No,
the
that's
one
not the
time
right
a
one.
year.
Yeah.
The one time a year that Doug washes his truck.
Yeah.
Car.
Oh, it's not working.
Hell
Darn.
yeah,
Oh, I
brother.
have to go
Hell
right
yeah,
here.
brother.
There we go.
That's what I
Yeah,
say.
brother.
That's right, brother.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, how was your weekend, Natalie?
You know,
Sorry,
what?
I just stopped. Danae, you asked before we started recording how to stop with all the popping noise, and then you do that. No.
she's like,
We said stop! No. Okay.
It just sounds so nice.
I guess it's about, the weekend was good, but I have to say this last week, and including today, like my eyes are seriously burning because I just been like just crying. Like I just
Tears
been
of
so... Yeah, I'm like, thank God for Trump. What would we do without him?
This country is finally headed in the right direction.
I know, man. Imagine if Kamala would have won. What a nightmare.
That ghoul.
I know. She's just a little ghoul. No.
I don't have no money.
Yeah, I'm just a little baby. I have been on what I would say is probably, a classic technically depressive phase. A real like this last week has been like, I'm like, yeah, what does it feel like if you feel like a candle that's been snuffed out and all that looks ahead in your future is a big dark cloud that you can't escape? And yeah, exactly. That you just feel like your life has been stolen from you and that there's nothing to look forward to. I'm like, oh, I think that's depression. That's clinical depression.
No.
This is politics.
That's what it is.
And that is what it is. I left you like a voice message talking about
that's true.
The Democrats and being so just like, and I'm like in the, I do that for work, and so it's like very in my face about like politics and like what has to happen and how
to really
it's
get your emotional battery draining.
Yeah, and how I have to be, talking to people and being all like, no, ranked choice voting. It's like it's systemic change and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, man, America's so fucking far behind. In our lifetime, I'm like, nothing good is going to come out of this shithole. Not with our government. Piece of garbage,
thanks,
fucking loser.
I'll sign up. Sure, I'll vote yes, I guess. God damn.
That's not what I tell our supporters, but I'm like, look at this fucking dump that we live in. Like, Mexico's over here nationalizing their energy sector. It's laughable to think of any sort of progress on like the federal level. We're like 150 years behind some other countries with just like, like safety net kind of progress, all this kind of stuff. We're just like, it just is so, because it really got to me that 10 Democrats censured Al Green after
that's
it's
right.
like, you motherfuckers could have just not done anything. You could have withheld your vote if you wanted not. One of them was
just
someone here in Washington State. Just shut up, bitch. I don't care that you won a Trump district. I guess that's better than having a Republican there, but is it? If you stand with the Republicans, what does it matter that there's a DF to your name?
Yeah.
I would always,
the reason we're hearing about you is because you're voting to censure a guy for being very validly speaking up and getting thrown out of the address to Congress, like doing something other than we're gonna wear the same colors and hold up some fucking paddles like we're at a fucking slave auction or some shit. I don't know, but it's like that's what you're known for. So what do you say you do here?
I just and I'm like, Democrats, the institutions, clinging to institutions has gotten you your asses kicked. Just so you know,
they should
I
don't
have faith in
institutionalized.
Yeah, and like talking about no, it doesn't matter who the president is. You need to have like reverence for the office. I'm like, if Trump can become president, how much respect do I need to have for that position? Honestly,
yeah, it does matter who the president is. As a matter of fact,
I feel like it does too.
It kind of does.
It kind of does. So you just be behind Andrew Jackson in the Trail of Tears, motherfucker. Yeah. It feels to me, I'm not a fan. I've said this before.
Do you think that's how the Supreme Court was looking at it when there was a constitutional crisis under Andrew Jackson? Well, you got to respect the office. They're like, no, fuck that guy. I mean,
I just don't really have respect for. I believe in government because I do see other nations doing a lot more for their people and like it really being an example of like collective power. But I don't like our setup. I don't like our whole thing. And what I'm doing, the work I'm doing, ranked choice voting, that's systemic change. Our bill's probably going to die this week in the Rules Committee in the House. So it's not going to get anywhere because these Republicans have their panties in a bunch because some gun control legislation is going through, that says you have to get a permit to get a gun. You have to have it go through a check once every 5 fucking years to make sure that you can keep your gun, that you did some training or whatever to have this gun. Jim Walsh,
if you like
this
your
motherfucking
guns, you can keep them.
Motherfucker from Aberdeen, where it's like literally the most famous person who will ever come out of Aberdeen, literally shot himself in the fucking head.
Right? Yeah.
And you're going to Kurt Cobain? Yeah, like literally, and you're going to try to block some gun control legislation by it's passing through to go to the Senate. So they're smacking 25 amendments on this thing. So they have to go and like debate all these amendments. So everything is just stymied. There's only a certain amount of time you have to get bills to the House floor. So they're just like holding up the process because they're just bitchy, whiny little fuck faces. This is like what I have been really struggling with is having not very much respect for these people that I thought I wanted to do what they do. And there are people that are cool and doing a good job and stuff, but a lot of people drawn to this office, they want to be called Senator so-and-so. They want to be called Representative so-and-so. They want to say, you don't ever talk to the president. You call me the president. And you are exactly the wrong type of person to hold these positions. I just am too close to it. I have no, like, battery for it. I feel
they're the people who say you got to respect the office because they want you to respect their office.
Yes. And I'm like, I don't. If you say that, your institutions were made by slavers, motherfucker. Why would I not think that, there could be some changes made or that you go to like the be all end all? This is of the people, by the people, for the people. You're the people, I'm the people. We're the same, motherfucker. You begged for this job. Why do I have to respect you?
Yeah.
You got down on the ground and you sucked
begged for
boot
money
for it, motherfucker. Like, I just any Democrat that's going to side with the Republicans right now, I'm like, I can't sleep on that.
Yeah.
I just really it really is like just too in my face right now.
Suck me
like
from
I'm
the back.
And this one in Washington, she was one that she likes ranked choice voting and she censured Al Green. We have contributed to her campaign as an organization. We have helped rally around. She won her district by some sort of miracle, I guess, because it's like this +5 Trump district and she still won. And it's like, yeah, because she's a conservative, because she's the chair of the Blue Dog Democrats of Washington State. That is corporate Democrats,
but
which
she just happens to like ranked choice voting.
There's different reasons that dumb motherfucker Jim Walsh liked ranked choice voting, but the Republican Party does not. So he does not like it anymore. So because
I don't. Actually, I never did. Actually, I didn't change my mind because I was wrong in what I believed.
Yeah. I feel like I'm having a hard time,
Having a hard time.
Like really, and like I was talking to our sister last
Natalie.
week and she was like, I was like, fuck this country. I want to move to Mexico City with Humberto. Humberto's parents were both born in Mexico. We could easily get there. And I just wanted to be like, fuck this place. And Emily was like, that's really sad. Not that she wasn't like in any way shaming me or anything. It was just like, it's really sad to hear you talk like that of all people when I'm like, no, like the West Coast doesn't need to secede. We can do this all together. I can't leave behind Tennessee and Georgia and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, no, America can do this.
But an idealistic
systemic
person
change.
That works with government. That's like,
and I'm like, and it's not fast enough because it's not good enough for me. Where it's like, look at Mexico, look at what they're doing, look at what other places do. This is not fast enough for us in our lifetime. I'm like, what are you guys even going to accomplish as a millennial? Millennials have a hard time even talking about like maybe having kids, not because we like hate kids or are just all selfish, because it's like impossible financially to even consider some of this stuff. Why would I have
kids?
Home buying, all of these things, you have stolen our future from us. It's a big, dark, capitalist cloud that it seems like it only will take. It's like reform. You can't like reform your way out of this stuff. The French knew that back with the monarchists. That sure seems to be the case.
Yeah. Let alone with centrists reaching across the aisle, bipartisan reform. Definitely not going to reform your way out of it that way, because that's not reform. That's just definitionally the status quo. But
it's like, so yeah, let's like work together. Well, you know what? The Republicans, they don't work with you. They never give one single motherfucking inch. They never concede a point. They always pull to the right. And exactly, it's just like over and over again. It's been really hard. That being said, I did have a good weekend. Kelsey came over and we hung out all day Friday because I took the day off because I was like, man, I need a day off. After having an annoying fucking conversation with some guy who's like, about ranked choice voting, and he's like, well, I'm a software engineer. And it's like, I don't fucking care. What does that mean? You know about electoral politics or whatever? Shut up. But so Kelsey and I had a good time. We actually toured. That's what had me thinking about like home ownership, especially.
Millennials,
a couple townhomes because she's
were the slowest group to reach the 50% mark in home ownership. Now it's like, wow, millennials are finally over 50%. Okay, I guess that's good, but it's like
some millennials are like in their 40s.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like at age 30, only 42% of millennials were homeowners compared to 48% of Gen X and 51% of baby boomers. Baby boomers hit the 50% mark before 30. Yeah, and they're the ones that, why don't you get a fucking job? Why don't you...
Everybody has a fucking job.
Why don't you
suck me from the back?
All right, old man.
Yeah. Why don't you? But Kelsey,
suck my dick, idiot.
Yeah. Kelsey and I toured some townhomes. That was fun. That was very fun. We went to a show Friday night. Then I went to Comic-Con on Saturday with Humberto and a couple friends of ours. That was cool.
Did you cosplay?
We were going to, but it wasn't a week for me to really be prepping like that. I was too depressed. I was too feeling under a black cloud. Like I just wanted to jump into the inky, dark, comforting blackness of the Puget Sound and get eaten by a giant squid. You know, but
that'd be cool though.
No,
that's way cooler than whatever we're doing.
I wore a yellow jumpsuit. That yellow jumpsuit I have. I don't know if you've seen that. And it's like April O'Neil from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I have some white like platform docs. Yeah. So I had that, and there were some incredible costumes there, of course, and like cosplay. Wow, cool. Amazing. We bought a few things, but it was, I was tired. It was a long week. I'm depressed, so.
So it was great. Yeah, and it's a great way to stay in shape.
So then we stayed in bed all day on Sunday, essentially. Me and Humberto was like, I don't really want to do anything. It was raining. And I was like, I just want to lay here with my baby while we play video games. And Marcel can sleep on the couch. I feel like the more I talk, the more like my volume just keeps getting quieter and quieter on my thing. I'm just watching it and I keep getting closer and closer. Closer and
closer. But it's like you're talking about the black cloud. Like everything just gets more blurry.
Yeah, it's like just stifling and just like
shrinking into the screen.
Yeah, you all hear me exactly. Here? So,
man, I wish that, I was going to surprise you guys with my new piece of equipment that I got on eBay. And I was messing around with it before the show. And the batteries died, and so I was glad that that didn't happen while we were doing this. But it's because Sophia had been playing with it so much yesterday and left it on. I didn't even think about it because I have it battery powered. I don't have an AC adapter, but I have a vocal processing thing. I thought it would be so funny to just like. Suddenly like, all right, guys, inane blather. There's like auto-tune, there's reverb, there's everything on there. That'd be really cool. You could do it like suddenly like a really deep voice. And there's a vocoder,
oh my gosh, we've been wanting one of those.
Exactly. Yeah, it works pretty well. But
another thing I will say, Doug already knows this, but I'll tell Danae, on Thursday night was jam night, and it was exactly what I needed, and I can understand why people do like punk rock and stuff, because we were jamming out and had like it's real punk. I'm a real punk, I think. That's what people say. I'm just like so punk.
I'm so punk, I got you too much tuna.
Yeah, but I really, Gilfy's on Charmed, I'm sure. But I really did get to, we're just like jamming, and I just was kind of improvising the song that we ended up kind of really going with. And it was really fun because the chorus was caring about people is good. And like, why don't you get that? Like, people understand this in kindergarten. And it was like, okay, say it with me. Caring about people is good. And
it
just like yelling
great little
it. Like
straightforward punk riff.
It was.
I didn't post it or
our friend
anything.
Taylor
I
on the
wanted
guitar.
To, but there's a bunch of people in there.
I don't care.
No.
And I I really went off, and it was really, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted to do. And it was like, caring about people is good.
Yeah. And then you're like, ah! Yeah,
Kelsey was so into it. It was really fucking cathartic. Oh man, it was just, and it just has been this thing about, it just had been getting to me over like in these Democrats and this and that, and I'm like, and we have the people in charge are literally this is like a quote saying empathy is a bad thing. Empathy is what's holding us back, and I'm like, I deserve better than this.
It's the only thing that's like keeps society somewhat good together.
Yeah.
It's like that's what you're saying God is. God's love and all that kind of stuff. That moral universe. That's what you feel when you hurt someone else's feelings. I don't know if it's God or whatever. I think that's empathy. You see children doing it, like, oh.
You see a kid doing empathy.
It's very cringe when you do that.
Very cringe.
What you have to teach them. End of the day, before the day, I'm just going to say, I still think it was improper for Al Green to go up in the State of the Union and call Trump a
fucking stupid F-word bitch.
So, even though I agree with him, so okay, what were you saying?
I don't know. I actually am kind of proud of him for that, but we'll just agree to disagree.
I mean, secretly proud, but I don't think he should have done it.
Anyway, speaking, I want to take my moment as the religious correspondent here to bring it back to the word of the Lord.
I actually had a big question to ask you too.
Good word.
We could do that. Yeah.
What about it? Is it about empathy?
Well, of course, right? So let's think about what the word empathy means first of all, because I feel like it's getting kind of what is it called when they basically appropriate a word and then they turn it into something, like they've done it with woke, they've done it with Antifa, like
bastardized,
maybe? Yeah,
bastardized,
misappropriated,
maybe. Yeah, they're misappropriating definitions of words. They're redefining these words, right?
It's like how they immediately did fake news. Oh man, that one still hurts me. I hate that.
So if you think about like what the actual definition of empathy is, it is the ability to relate to another person, to be able to understand where they're coming from, see yourself in their shoes.
Yeah. Walk a mile in their shoes.
And feel something. to put yourself into a place so that you can feel what they feel, right? And I find it so interesting. Like, you sent me that reel today, Nat, where there's all of these, like, or I don't know how many, I don't know how widespread this is, but, like, there are Christian leaders that are saying empathy is wrong. And women are the ones who are empathizing, and it is leading them astray.
That's a problem.
But like one of like the core tenets of mainstream Christianity is the just the idea that God would put himself into human form so that he could walk the earth as a human and understand
empathy,
the way that it is to be a human, and to go through all of the challenges and trials,
and you know what he did?
Humanness. And then and then
couldn't even make it
like,
a 35.
It's literally like there is no Christianity without the Christ, without the man that was also God.
Christianity.
Yeah, as a man, as a person with feelings.
Exactly. It's literally like it's the truth and tension, right? The God made flesh. And it's so crazy to me that people are like, no, empathy is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm sorry, what? Do you not?
Ben Shapiro, that's a big one. Although, Ben Shapiro is not a Christian, but still.
Well, yeah, Ben Shapiro is
values.
Besides the point. Ben Shapiro is basically whatever. Fuck that guy.
He's an idiot.
But when I am talking about Christians saying that empathy is bad and that it's leading people astray, and I'm like, I am so sorry to remind you that literally Jesus' whole thing was hanging out with people that were hurting and broken,
Mm-hmm.
and people that we today would say, no, we're not going to hang out with sex workers. We're not going to hang out with the
Yeah.
poor. We're not going to hang out with
Lepers.
people that are sick, literally lepers. You know, like, which I don't think we have a concept of lepers today, to be fair.
just
like,
sick people that they're putting aside. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
It'd be like, you know,
could-
people with HIV in
Drug
the
addicts
80s.
or something.
Right, you could
Yeah.
equate it. You could equate it to the AIDS crisis in the early '90s, right? Like that would probably be the closest thing. I mean, we were either not born or being toddlers at the time, but
I would say it's
like-
like more like addiction. Would
Yeah,
be a closer
nowadays.
one,
Addiction
would
because
be
they
a
they see it
huge
as like
one.
a huge moral failing. Like your
Mhm.
leprosy was like
it was you were
God's-
unclean.
yes,
you were
like
unclean.
God's punishment on you,
God's
like
punishment,
manifest
right.
physically. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So anyway, I just once again I am unsurprised that people are using their faith-based teachings to manipulate the masses. And if there's anyone listening, I would like to remind them that that's not the way it's supposed to go. So
Caring about
fuck
people
all of
is
those
good.
people.
Yeah.
Caring about people is good.
No, and that's
It's-
funny because I was like, yeah, and even Ben Shapiro's big thing. You're like, well, I'm not talking about Ben Shapiro because my first thought was, was the right, completely forgetting that you're literally just talking about Christians because it's so easy to just intermingle those right now in my mind. And I'm
It
just like,
is
oh, yeah,
really
that's right.
easy.
No, you're specifically talking about Christians that you know, and then you're talking about, I was
I'm
like, oh, I
talking-
was just thinking about right wingers, but
I'm talking about
Yeah.
right-wing Christians.
Exactly.
Because there
It's
are
like, oh, they're
Christians
so
that are
often one and
actually
the
know what they're...
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
There are
left-wing
there are
Like the
Christians
bishop.
that know, that are not... that are more intellectually advanced.
We had a
Shall
pretty
we
famous one. He
say?
was shot to death. The left-wing Christian.
Yeah, his name was Ronald Reagan. Oh no, he didn't die. No,
Wait, who are you talking about?
Yeah,
I'm
his
talking about
name
Martin Luther
was,
King Jr.
was
I
Brian
was like,
Thompson.
wait, Assassinated, for sure.
No, MLK, yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
famous
for sure.
left-wing Christian.
Yeah, but also part of like why they didn't like him is because he was, you know,
Black.
not white too. So
yeah.
But
was
he
a
didn't
black
die until he
socialist.
started
They had
talking
a-
more about poverty and socialist leanings and stuff. And it very much went hand in hand with his biblical or at least spiritual messaging when he would do it in his speeches and stuff like that, and talking about how America needed to take care of the fucking poor and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and feel for these people that
That's
have
gay.
been downtrodden. Yeah, and they're like, gay! Yeah, and so they shot him.
yeah,
Bam! Well, how
Stop
was...
being an F slur. Yeah.
yeah, go to MLK,
Fucking stupid F word bitch.
and then kablamo.
Totally.
all I know from all of this over like the last 2 months or whatever, however long this trial has been, I keep thinking
Is it a
I
trial or is
understand
it a
why-
tribulation at this point?
who knows? Maybe it's just the end times at this point.
Ooh.
Hope so.
Speaking of metal,
Yeah, where's that asteroid when we need it? I cannot help but think, like, I see people just like arguing online all the time, and I'm like, once again, this is just a distraction, like, to keep us fighting amongst ourselves rather than storming the fucking Capitol
Mhm.
in the way that we should do that.
well,
Maybe.
yeah, it's so funny how like
Definitely.
documented it is too, where it's like just the any
so clear.
wedges to place between people to avoid any sort of class consciousness, any sort
Yeah.
of solidarity, like it was, I mean, for race segregation, yada yada, and then the evangelical movement and the moral majority and blah blah blah, and you still have these, and now it's whatever culture war it boils down to now, and now it's like always since everything just comes 2 weeks at a time instead of in 5-year periods, it's just the same shit though. And it's like, well, like we've said before, it's like those rich people, they immediately develop class consciousness. I was just listening to some Hassan stream from like a couple months ago or something like that. Oh, it was Hassan watching Sam Cedar on PBD on Valuetainment. and he's like, yeah, and it doesn't matter how, he's like, so many rich people are pretty dumb. A lot of them are dumb. Even like finance people that get in, they still don't understand basic accounting. Like Sam Cedar's on there, like trying to explain to him. He's like, "Oh my God, no!" They still just don't understand, like that he's not talking about revenue. He's talking about net profit and blah blah blah. Like it's just like talking to a fucking brick wall. It's like you guys like are millionaires. What is wrong here?
They pay people to do that. They don't need to know that stuff.
It's like, but no matter what, once they can be smart about a few things once they're rich, and it's like it's how to stay rich. It's how to have that sense of that class consciousness, like that way in which you stay part of that group. It's so much harder to fall back down from being like a millionaire or let alone billionaire or something like that than it is to get up there. Like it's 100%. Way harder. Like look at Trump. He's gone bankrupt. He's bankrupted a casino, and the dude's a 2-term president and still maybe a billionaire.
Yeah, and bankruptcy is like super normal too, so it's not even really a great benchmark for that. But like,
but bankrupting a casino, that's not normal.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Like, how do you?
That means you're not smart.
It really comes down to like they just like the whole failing up thing. Like you have the right friends with enough money. You lose all of the money, you will find the new money.
You
really
still
quickly.
have people
Someone
who had
is going to give you a loan. Exactly.
Someone else, because when you lost that money, someone else lost their money. That was their money. When you lost it. But Danae, how was your weekend?
Oh, thanks for asking. It was great. I had a great weekend. I went thrifting. It was awesome.
We went to come up from Natalie's black cloud, and because Natalie is so good at...
sorry, Nat. I had a great week last week.
No, because Natalie is so good at empathizing.
I am also good at empathizing.
Yeah, it's a real fucking treat to care about people so much.
that when her friends had a good weekend, then she can feel good about it.
Oh, yeah, that would never make me feel bad, of course. I'm glad. Glad
so
someone
you never have
else
to
can take
feel
that
bad
over.
about
I am
having
now
a good weekend when Natalie
the
has
black
a bad
cloud
one.
because you felt the black cloud.
Yeah, by the way, Natalie, you fucking ruined my day.
Maybe we'll like even each other out a little bit.
Yeah, imagine what Umberto's been going through, poor thing.
Living with you.
I'm like, fuck this country. Yeah. There's no hope. America doesn't even want you here.
Take me to your family home.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What the?
Whoa.
I don't know why that happened.
I don't know how you get that reaction.
Because you're excited about my depression.
Yep. See, just rubbing it in.
We're celebrating it.
Oh my God.
LOL.
Yeah. For the audience listening, balloons just showed up on my screen for no reason.
Colorful balloons.
Anyway, no, I had a pretty decent weekend. It was very packed. I went down to Portland for approximately 2 days ish.
Boring.
So that was nice. It was really boring.
I was going to do that every time. No, you went thrifting though, huh?
I went thrifting and I found a pair of what is it, like Lucy and Yak overalls. I don't remember if that's the brand name, but I love that brand.
Cool.
And it's a pretty.
What color are they?
Cool. They're black.
That's what I was imagining.
It was overall a good time.
Great. Yeah, it was overall a great time. I went to
my good time overalls.
Yay!
So I actually went to my ex-fiance's sister's birthday.
Interesting.
She turned 60, so that's why I was down there. And like honestly, anytime that family invites me to things, I try to go because I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably more than I ever loved him.
Yeah. Today I learned you were engaged at one point.
I was once upon a time. And yeah, so that was fun. I got to catch up with his kids too, who are like straight up just teenagers now, and it's so cringe to try to talk to them. They make me feel so uncool, but I love them. They're so weird and great. And yeah, it was really nice to be reminded how valued I am by some people. So his sisters love me. They were introducing me to their
why wouldn't they
queer friend group as the one that got away, and I was like, please stop saying that out loud.
I remember being at like with my current wife. I think we were married, and then
your current wife.
At the time, as I said, with my wife at the time, I guess I've only been married once. So, but yeah, the and like old friend, all that, and then drunken night, and then her mom, my friend's mom, like even saying like, you were supposed to be the one that she was gonna marry.
Oh my God!
It's like, calm down. I was like, this is all funny and fun and loving. I was like, but my wife is here. I was like, I still want to be friends with this person.
Wife know that you feel that way about me, okay? That's all.
I was like,
also, don't let him know either, okay? Like, let's just
I
think
let's tone down the gin, okay? Let's just maybe cut back on the gin.
My ex-fiance is probably the only one that misses me, or I don't know how he feels. He likes me and loves me. His family is probably like, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad she's gone. She's kind of a stuck-up bitch.
That's a good sign for you. They're fucking...
Oh my gosh.
I agree. Because one sister's a huge Trump lover for a long time.
I was just thinking about
she could suck a
parents.
dick.
Yeah.
His parents.
The rest of the family's hit and miss. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's actually why I liked Brandon's family.
Sister.
Yeah, like Brandon's family is all at least Democrat, and that was so refreshing for me coming from like a fully conservative family.
Oh yeah,
to be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna marry into a Democratic family. That's crazy. Yes. We can agree on politics a little bit. My god,
this will be the holiday dinner I'll look forward to.
Yeah. Exactly. It was awesome.
Talk shit about this fascist. That's what.
Yeah.
Umberto with their dad. That's what it's like. His dad is like, oh man. Bert, he'll be like, oh, that fucking fascist in the Oval Office, and him and fucking Elon Musk and these guys, blah blah blah. He gets so mad. I love him so much. It's really really fun to talk politics with him.
Dude, there's not like good in-laws are literally priceless in my opinion.
Sorry, Umberto. You like my siblings.
Yeah, I was just saying, even we'll go home for hours, and our dad hates Donald Trump just like the next guy, and we'll still get in a gigantic political fight, and people are mad.
Yeah,
inevitably mad, so mad. It's just a nightmare. It's like
some people can't handle the truth.
Yeah, because that's how libs are, man. But anyway,
how was your weekend?
Socialism is when no car.
No car. Yeah, Doug, how was your weekend?
I thought I started with that. I washed my car, but
socialism is when
that was your
car.
weekend?
Pretty much. Actually, pretty much because I was like feeling kind of sick. Or not even, I wasn't feeling sick, but I had this sore throat, and I was so worried about it, and I took the day off of work. I slept a bunch. I had to go to the dentist today, so I didn't want to like have to put that off. I didn't want to like be sick and have to not go to the dentist and blah blah blah. So I like erased an entire day pretty much. But it was nice. And then today was a very productive day, and I'm putting in my application for a building permit for my house.
Nice.
Oh,
so
hooray!
That's
Congratulations.
I always forget that I
Nice.
still have no applause on this thing, so you know.
Yeah. Your house burned down.
Asshole.
That's what that's all
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
But yeah.
Doug?
That's not a name that exists. That's not a real name, okay? Doug. Hey, do you know a Doug? Anybody watching this, do you know a Doug? You don't.
Can't say I do.
No, you don't.
Can't say I do. Can't say I'd want to.
Say a do. Okay, so this has been some serious blather because see that's why. Let's return to episode 1, The Phantom Menace. No, episode 1 of this show.
How's the weather?
Yeah, small talk is important. You know, I had that exact conversation with your friend at karaoke night. What was her name?
Which one? Free?
No.
Aki?
Aki. Really amazing person to talk to. Great conversationalist.
Yeah, she's
very
the campaign
smart and
director for
incredible.
a really cool nonprofit.
Yes. Yeah. Climate action nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
But, and we're talking about, especially because of that. Yeah. I said that kind of spurred on like this entire podcast. The fact that it's like, you know what? Small talk is not cringe. Talking about the weather is important.
Love small talk.
There are things that people connect on and that only spurs on more things. And you know what? We're going to talk about the weather even more and more and more because of climate change.
Because of climate change.
Because we live in the end times, as Pastor Danae has been trying to warn us.
Not a pastor.
That's why we should just be in Mexico. Because we could be living in the end times.
It was a sarcastic title.
In Mexico.
And getting a tan.
That's what we were talking about. Just at dinner tonight, I was there with Aki's husband at dinner tonight with Umberto, and we were talking about how brown Umberto would get if we lived in Mexico. And I said, I like that. I'd probably die of skin cancer in a couple years, but worth it. God, what a win-win.
I mean,
just use SPF.
Who's to say that we wouldn't die from other things before the skin cancer?
You're gonna
kills
die
us.
from climate change. We've
Might as
been
well
over
be in
this.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Or nuclear war or starvation.
Yeah. Some sort
There's
of
so many things we could
fascist
die
concentration camps sending all of the socialists to ovens.
Getting into a car accident.
In the water. RFK's
could
in
get
charge
hit by
of
a
literally
bus
our
tomorrow.
healthcare now. Yeah. So,
Yeah, exactly. So I think we should all actually attempt to move to Mexico. And then
I'm
I'll have to convince my kid's mom. But could happen,
I don't think it'd be
actually.
that
I
hard.
think.
You can join us when your daughter turns 18. She'll want to join.
Oh, yeah.
We'll start the
And
commune.
honestly, I could probably convince
We'll
my
have it
kid's
ready
mom
for you.
anyway. Get to homeschool
Yeah, like,
Sophia
let's
pretty
go.
well.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, you want to go somewhere where there's it's cheaper to live. It's not this. You don't
Healthcare,
have every
there's a
single
woman
person
president.
knows everything about you and is constantly hounding you for everything. When we live in a small town, USA, let's go somewhere
Yeah.
else. I was like, I know we're moving out of the school district, so we gotta agree on this. But
one of the things that was laughable that Mexico did that is, I mean, laughable to imagine it happening in America. It's awesome, I think, is that
Sure.
they offer like an early retirement for women to sort of as like kind of reparations for like the gender pay gap. So
Wow.
they can take an early retirement between the ages of like 60
for all
and
the
64.
domestic
They can
work
retire
they
at
already
60.
did.
Yeah, and that is so funny to think of that even being. I know, exactly. That's what I mean by laughable. Imagine that coming up in Congress in the United States. What a fucking joke.
Yeah.
What a joke that would be. They say, look what the Green New Deal did. For one thing, that never even got passed.
Yeah,
And that was like
exactly.
sort of
Look
a
at what
piece
it
of
did.
progressive legislation.
Show me what it did. Show me what it did.
What
It
did it
is-
do?
If something like that passed, you would have
It didn't
like
pass.
old white men putting
That's all it
guns
ever
in
did.
their mouths on C-SPAN. Like,
Oh man, that would be
it would be so sweet.
that would be the beginning times. Not the
The
end
dawn of a
times.
new age.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to get
best
Nancy
day
Pelosi to retire.
Retire?
Yeah, really. Push her down the stairs.
Wow.
Well,
Doug.
that's getting
She doesn't need an
demonetized.
abortion, Doug.
Push her down, son.
Wow.
I need some new drops. Let's see here. Yeah, I was gonna say. I know that I've brought it up in group chats, etc.
The weather,
Sometimes
it's been rainy. That's my story.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
but
plus there's a rat that lives here.
I figured
now.
you see. I figured you like the rain. You live in Seattle. You goddamn weirdo.
I do. But also, I want to say that you can see the roof of our own house. You know, like I walk up the stairs, there's a window that looks out.
Yes.
And it looks over the roof of our
you
house.
have
And so I've been throwing
your
birdseed
wildlife
and
sanctuary
peanuts.
viewing
Our
area.
Urban wildlife viewing, and there's a rat that chases a squirrel around.
Oh, wow.
For the peanuts, and like
Is it pretty
literally,
big?
I mean, he's not a huge rat, but
Okay.
he came up behind the squirrel and like kind of nipped his tail, and the squirrel like doing, like jumped
Yeah.
straight in the
It's
air
like
and
they
like ran away,
explode.
and he like runs after him like
That's awesome.
on the roof, and then sometimes they're eating there together, and there's birds, but
Natalie,
and I'm like,
you need to be videoing all of this. You can have a successful. You
TikTok.
can have a successful
That's
channel
true.
easily.
yeah,
Easily.
and then it's and then
You
Marcel's
have
just there
urban
going,
wildlife. Urban
He's
wildlife
like, I don't
underscore
want to
Seattle.
monetize my eyesight.
yeah, I'm better than that, Doug.
Okay.
I want
need
to
to make
instead
whatever.
Not
work in
everything
politics
is
and want to
Alright.
kill
content.
In
myself.
this black cloud
We
of
don't
a
have to make
capitalist hellhole where you can't
everything
own a house.
Yeah, exactly.
You
or instead,
could-
I could just like take some videos of a rat chasing a squirrel.
Yeah,
And
you
make
could
it
bring
big.
joy to some people who
I
are
know.
doom
That's
scrolling.
true. It's like
It
you
was-
don't even care about people now.
Okay, fine. I'll post it on Instagram right now.
No, but
You convinced
no,
me.
it's funny. There are things like you have an opportunity. There's like daily stuff. People would like that. There's updates.
It is
if you
funny.
had like certain ones that come back or something.
Give it a
There's
little
different things that you can do.
voiceover.
I've seen. I was gonna say, yeah, there are certain ones where
I do love a voiceover animal video.
it was
Oh,
totally
nice.
coworker Facebook material that my coworker was showing me from Facebook, and it was literally I was like, this could get me on Facebook. I was like, this is the
There's some funny
cringiest,
stuff on Facebook.
corniest,
Yeah.
cutest, funniest thing, because it's one of those things where they just voice over their spiders. They have pet spiders,
cute.
and they do it, and they do these little spider voices, and they have like little personalities that they apply to them. I was like, that is such an idea. What a great idea. I was like, that's so cute. And I was like, and you're like humanizing or whatever, like you're
Yeah.
softening,
Anthropomorphizing?
but you're
Oh.
softening these spiders too, because people
Yeah.
don't like spiders. I don't mind them, but it was really kind of cool. But I was like, what an idea too. You have these little spiders, because they aren't tarantulas. They have like these jumping spiders or something. And it's like, and they're there, you're interacting with them. It's like, well, I mean, you have to monetize everything in your everyday life because you live in the end times of a capitalist, late stage capitalist hellscape. Of course, you know.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so that is the trademark of the end times, late stage capitalist hellscape. That's the little.
You know you're in
marking that I
trouble
have
when
on
you
it.
hear that.
Yeah, it's like, you know what?
What?
But I'm gonna make a Natalie song with Natalie.
Please do.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Include. Yeah, I like that. And it'll start off with.
Well,
Nothing like a good New York slide.
I do have Umberto and I, maybe we mentioned this to Doug already, but we're going to be starting a zine. You know, we're going to be starting a
Oh.
zine. So we're just kind of laying it out actually right
Mazagine.
before Inane, and saying like little bits that we could have in there. Maybe have Doug write an article, and I write
what?
my opening letter from the editor. That's me.
That's me.
You know, and have some
Gil
some
Faison.
stupid bullshit
Charmed, I'm
in there.
sure.
So, anybody have any ideas? Anybody listening? Anybody in here, Doug or Danae? We're open to it. An ad you can buy for $5,000. You know?
Yeah, one ad, one time.
Big one.
Yeah,
50
and it
grand.
runs forever, as long as that zine is in publication.
Yeah, which is
Could
not
be
long.
a month. Yeah, could be a year.
Local businesses only.
Yeah,
and yes, it's an internet publication.
So, dumb
it
question.
will be a physical publication. What?
Dumb question. But what is your what is the topic, the theme?
The theme of the zine.
Of the zine.
I think the zine theme.
The zine theme is it's a lot of it's gonna it's gonna be like a creative outlet, but it's also kind of looking for a little bit of like leftist community kind of thing. It's definitely like maybe building up towards Comic-Con as opposed to Comic-Con, but having like a festival for leftists and stuff like that, because and I also have run into just this week someone in one of these like communities that I'm a part of. It's like a bunch of white, largely affluent people that it's like saying, oh, dating profile is free Luigi a red flag on someone's dating profile? And I was like, it just made me so fucking mad that I was like, these are not.
Yeah, if you want to have a bad lay.
These are not my people. Like, these are
really,
like.
You sound like.
Can I?
The person you were
can I just
talking
say
about
that
having dinner with.
The first line on my Tinder profile was, "If you're not
suck
willing,
Luigi's dick."
if you aren't willing to kill the CEO of an insurance company, I don't want it."
Yeah,
is that what you said?
That was the first line in my video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
And it just felt like I was like, who are these? They're just like too white and too like, like that kind of leftist where it's like inclusivity at any cost sort of thing. Just kind of some bullshit I just was like, it made me really mad. And I just need some like crunchier. I need like a crusty. Well, we got Zach, a crusty anarchist, but I need some more folks like that are a little bit like edgier, maybe, and like more like
folks with a K as well as folks with an X. You need actual.
I don't like folks with an X, but yeah, I like salt of the earth leftists is what I want. That's what I'm looking for. Some.
You sound like Barton Fink.
I want some working class
salt of the earth.
Yeah.
How do I find out about Comic-Con? Because I just Googled it and it just sent me to Comic-Con.
Oh, that's because that's my idea.
Yeah.
That's my
I thought this was already established. That's a great idea.
It's an inane blather property.
And that's what when I did my song, Caring About People is Good. That's what I was like, that's like a Comic-Con thing. Like, that's what place is for. It's for people who are angry, who can take a joke, who have good faith conversation and assume the best in people, that we're all on the same fucking team, that we're friends, that we're funny, that we're smart, that we care, get people together, listen to music, do mushrooms, be in the Pacific Northwest, and just like, not necessarily, maybe there would be some calls to action, of course, but like let's just like establish some community first. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like you can disagree,
also,
and I
no
like debate,
Communist
but
Party
you
of the
can't.
USA allowed.
Yeah, Party of the Communist Party of the USA.
No, fuck those guys.
But no, I mean just like something like a real like progressive leftist workers like community,
people.
Where it's like people that are really affected by these rules that really
real
care. Yes, real people that are funny and have a good sense of humor. That's a number one. You got to tell a joke to get into this
real
festival.
People that enjoy nothing more than
nothing like a good New York slide.
Yeah, so that's
actually.
That's kind of the zine scene.
I love that. That's so cool. And it's funny because before Doug interrupted me earlier and asked me how my weekend was, so weirdly.
I'd been meaning to ask you for like 15 minutes, so I needed to get it in somewhere.
I was about to get to a thought and you disrupted it.
I meant to do
kidding.
exactly that. Mm-hmm. I could see it formulating.
I'm sure.
Moving on.
She's gonna make a good point. I better stop her now. Yeah. We gotta shut these women down.
Just started hitting the soundboard.
No, I was just thinking about how I feel like the biggest reason why the right wing everything just feels so overwhelming and daunting is because they are so aligned.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they don't necessarily agree on everything, they are still very much organized and like in a community together. And I think that might be what is a little bit of like missing, is we just have all of these factions of people on the left, and we have also like the liberal, Democrat, whatever. And I feel like at some point, as soon as we start to actually stop talking and just actually like do stuff and like get together, I think we'll actually start to change people's minds a little bit more, because they're going to see what it looks like.
Well, see, and that's
when it's happening.
That's a long time problem. Is that the right wing and liberals, but is always going to be like that. Because we're in a right-wing country, anything that aligns with the status quo is automatically, definitionally easier to be
to
aligned.
Get together, to find each other.
Yeah. So once you're, if you're on the left and you're aiming for change, then then everyone's going to differ on what change and how to make the change, and then you start having the divisions. But if it's something like Comic-Con or whatever, it's like, hey, like Natalie's saying, all we want is change. You can all talk about these different things. It's like we all want change for the better. It's like, I know that the anarchists see it much differently than the socialists do, let alone the democratic socialists, which will be, begrudgingly let into it, no matter what the anarchists and socialists say. It's like, because people want change for the better. You can argue about how to do that. That's where the divisions come from. That's why it's hard to coalesce around one thing, because there isn't one thing. There isn't one way to change it all. There's easily one way to keep it the same, and that is to not do anything.
Right. And going to the Black Panther Party, part of the reason why the government was so threatened by them was because of how much they were actually just doing, even though there was division amongst the Black Panther Party, especially when it came to feminism. There was a lot of infighting, and part of that was also the government coming in and sowing those seeds of discord.
Oh, sure.
But the reality was that they were literally providing for their communities, and they were getting together and feeding people, and they were setting up clinics and taking care of their neighborhoods.
They put together a
and stuff
structure
like that.
and executed with it.
Exactly. And I think we just get so caught on we want change, and then we talk about it and we argue about it, rather than okay, let's just start doing stuff and then we'll figure it out as we go.
Well, it's also a big part of it is, if Black Panthers or whatever, you're a part of a community, and Doug and I, you and I, Danae, I'm sure we don't agree on every single thing, but we care about each other, and
100%.
debates can be had.
I hate
and
you.
Okay, except for Doug, we don't care about him.
No,
I am not
debates
going to
can be
Comic-Con.
had,
Sounds
and
like
we
it
know
stinks.
that at the end of it, we're going to still be friends. We're still going to care. We're going to understand each other better if we had a debate of ideas or whatever, or have conversations. People can do those kinds of things and grow to some understandings together when you start with being friends, with being in a community together. I think that that's a big part. It's if you start with antagonistically being my thing has to come at your expense, or your thing comes at my expense, whatever, that's not a good starting point. Saying, hey, we're friends, and friends have all kinds of different ideas. You got all kinds of different friends
or our baseline
that have
values align.
Yeah, sure. And we like each other. We like each other. We get along, actually, because we're part of the same community for a reason. We have a lot in common, and to be able to explore that and celebrate that, all those things we have in common, I think it's cool to think about the coalitions that can be brought together. Maybe it's all of these different things under a broader umbrella, but it's imagining it's okay, we all maybe
I was gonna say a Comic-Con, like you're saying, it would have to be. You wouldn't be saying well, and if you're someone who doesn't like these other people, then you can't come because you don't want to be exclusionary. But at the same time, it's you wouldn't want to come because you don't
want
like these
to.
other people. Yeah. So you don't even have to worry about
Well,
that.
that's the other thing though too.
Excluding or whatever the term.
Yeah. For sure, I think there will be self-exclusion, absolutely. But I also think that there are people that are on the fringes,
Sure,
who
they can be
if
heard
they
out.
are exposed to new ideas, will be brought into the light.
Mhm.
We need
Into the fold.
evangelicals for the Communist Party.
That's me. I'm a cult leader. That's why I can't do this nonpartisan
the
bullshit because I'm supposed to be with a megaphone.
Yeah.
You know,
can be the
yelling at people.
missionary.
You hate a.
And I'm great in missionary.
You can't stand a.
I believe you.
A moderate.
Can't stand a neutral bitch, a neutral ass bitch.
That's what
you
it
know.
is. Okay, yeah.
Yes,
That's what
100%.
you know. And you can be bringing people together. People like, okay, this person's working on ranked choice voting. This person got climate. These calls to action. It's like, okay, now you know these organizations within your communities that you can just volunteer for. Those are calls to action that you can really be building some people power. That's not the initial Comic-Con wouldn't be, you know, about like social revolution exactly. It's like not a new political party, but it's about a foundation for which we can build upon a community of people that want to make the world a better place,
and even
that
just
care about each other, that respect each other enough to like listen and engage in conversations without, you know, it ending in just being like, fuck you, I don't want to ever talk to you again. It would be like, man, that was like a debate of ideas, actual good faith discussions where we can grow all together and like have synapses and neurons firing and laugh and joke and do drugs together and listen to music.
It would be proof that everyone could get along.
We can.
Yeah. And it's like, and if you don't think so, what are you doing here?
You don't belong there.
No,
if
I mean,
you're
what
not
are you
cool.
even doing
That's what I mean.
in
You'd
socialism?
You wouldn't belong there. You wouldn't feel good. And I don't want that for you. I want you to feel somewhere. And if that's with the fascists and the Nazis, that's on you, babe. You know, that's not on me.
Well,
I want people who like want to make the world a better place by challenging the status quo, you know, and what that means is community. In America, challenging the status quo means doing things with other people, working together, because that's not how we do things here. We all live alone. We want to live. This is hippies, but better. Hippies with some actual backbone over here. That's what I want, you know?
Yeah, I had
honestly, 70s
you know
shit.
what's funny is I scrolled through, I don't know if you could see on here, so I have my notes, and I realized that a lot of the stuff I just haven't said, or I haven't deleted, but I realized I have a lot of notes that I have never got to. And like,
it's all about Comic-Con.
Yeah, no, but at the very bottom, I scrolled to the bottom just a couple days ago. This is the very last one. And it was just, and it's just a link to Abby Hoffman's Wikipedia. And it just says, the hippies and the yippies had such balls. We've got nothing like that today. For good reasons, probably. But still, Abby Hoffman, he did stuff, you know? I mean, sure, you could say that it threw the 1968 election into chaos or whatever, but still, the hippies did things in the 1960s. It's literally like a psyop, how people say. It's like a retconning of hippies just being flower power and stuff by the people that write the media and the history and tell the stories back to you. Those are the people that are like, yeah, I was a hippie, you know, because they grew their hair long and they had sex with a woman that had crabs, so they think they were a hippie. We changed the world, man. You know, that's an old Nick Mullen thing. He's like, yeah, just because you got an STD and you dodged the draft doesn't mean you did anything. And it's like, but the actual hippie, I mean, that was a movement. There's a reason, like Danae's saying, I mean, things like the Black Panthers and actual like hippies like Abby Hoffman and these people like had FBI people being inserted into their ranks.
Surveilling
They had
them,
they went to jail. They were banned from places. They were banned from the Democratic National Convention, that's for sure. and stuff. I mean, it was, actual like politics, It's like, and I mean, there's something to be said for talking things through and just figuring things out. There's 8 billion people on this planet. We're all just trying to figure out what we're supposed to be doing with ourselves. But
having sex and doing drugs, I figured it out.
Yeah, but you can't. You're going to regret, not making your mark once you feel that idealistic. Not making your mark if you feel like you can, and you should. That's the problem. That you should.
Going back to doing things.
For those fringe people that are listening, do it. You know what you were thinking about doing it? Do it. That we didn't tell you to do it. Go. Don't put it in your manifesto, but go through with it.
It's so funny that you say that. I just saw a TikTok the other day that was talking about like things that people have actually done as acts of protest rather than how our Congress is showing up with pink blazers and bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Like Serbia doing smoke bombs in their parliament?
Tear gas. Tear gas. And then there was another one, I can't remember where it was, but the guy basically like stole the piece of paper that they were trying to sign some bill on and ran out of the building.
It and ran.
You're like, it's always sunny. He just shoves it in his mouth, starts eating it.
Like literally, he's like running. The people are they're like trying to sign it in their like parliament or whatever, and he grabs it and he's like running. It was like in a Southeast Asian country.
And then like South Korea last year with the literal riots.
True.
When their president basically declared martial law.
Who was talking about that with France too? They're like, we talk about France being like these, cheese-eating surrender monkeys or whatever. They're lazy. You tell them like, we're going to knock down your mandatory paid vacation to only 3 months of the year. And suddenly Paris is burning to the ground.
They were trying to raise the retirement age.
Exactly.
They burned down Macron's like favorite restaurant. They were like throwing bathtubs through windows and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like,
Also, like with the Olympics, and I don't remember I was talking to someone about this over the weekend. I was like, we need to use poop more often in our protests because like they were taking shits in the sign, and like the mayor was supposed to be like swimming in it to like prove it was clean or whatever for the Olympics, and people were like, we don't want the Olympics to happen. In Paris.
Oh, I thought you were talking about upcoming Olympics.
In the river. Parisians were basically like taking every chance they could to just take shits in the river. So because like they were spending millions of dollars to get the city ready for the Olympics, which can we just fucking get rid of the Olympics already? Like why are we doing this?
It's coming here. It's coming to LA.
The World Cup is coming to Seattle.
Ooh,
sick!
But
that's cool.
I guess.
That's what. That's like Comic-Con could like activate some people in that way, and activate other people in another way. And it's like having a community kind of holding you accountable for like.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, let's like everyone here try to thrift as much as possible. We can help you find resources and crap like that. And even if it's like a couple hundred people. That's cool.
I think we
can have a place where we can stockpile all the dog shit, so we can literally send that kind of stuff.
I want to send my shit to Dan Newhouse's house.
Perez. Yeah, he's the one that introduced that censure thing. So I want to send it to that Democrat.
I was going to say you were talking about poop. I mean, you can do right now. PSA for anyone. I mean, it's not as good as a mutual aid pooping thing, but
sending poop to starving children in Africa.
Total legal way of doing
mutual
it.
Aid poop network.
You find if you have your address of your, senator, whatever, maybe state AG, poopsenders.com.
Not our state AG.
Poopsenders.com. And
Good to
you
know.
can
Thank you.
mail whatever amount you choose from, anything from just regular old cow pies
But where
to
do they-
elephant
oh.
dung.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Where do they source their poop?
Well,
Is it ethically sourced?
I would imagine
is the
it's
poop
from
ethically sourced?
zoos.
Is it from the zoo?
What's the carbon
Yeah.
foot?
Is
What's the
this poop
carbon
organic?
footprint on that?
Yeah, it's only organic.
Carbon poop print. Yeah.
The carbon poop print.
Yeah, you go to poop senders, and then people are just like burning it in like some sort of eco-friendly oven, thatching their roof. It's like, God damn it!
Yeah.
Why did I send this to my Seattle representative? God damn it!
Yeah.
I think we could find enough
Because
houseless
some of those
people
city
to
council
pay, and pay
people
them to do it.
Deserve
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Some Seattle City Council members, they deserve poop right in the back of their throat is what they deserve.
But it does send a
Dan
message
deserves
when they
it.
get a bucket of elephant dung delivered to them. I just think
What
it's
do
kind
you
of
do
a
with
cool
that?
service.
Yeah. What do
would
you do
love
with
it.
that once you get it?
Yeah.
What if there was?
Thanks.
That would be such an amazing protest, though. Like, there's literally so much poop that people leave in like little bags and stuff, like on the Capitol building steps.
Oh yeah.
In front of the houses
doggy
of the
doo-doo bags?
representatives.
You could go
Like, to
parks and empty those.
overwhelm
Oh
them.
my
To
God.
overwhelm them.
Just dog
know?
shit. Just
Oh
going
my God, that
around
would be
with
amazing.
gloves, and people just think like, well, there's some crazy person, It's like, okay,
Yeah, we
you're
gotta
just
get, like, paper
emptying out
bags,
all
though.
the dog shit containers
Yeah.
at the dog park, throwing them in a bag.
Yeah.
Bye. You just go out to like wearing your craziest outfit, and they're like, whatever.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Just to
That's
stand
amazing.
outside
That's a
like a dog
Comic-Con
park.
idea. Mm-hmm.
Stand outside a dog park, hand out paper bags, say, please bring this back to me when your dog poops.
I don't think
gonna
I'm
go
doing a
if
survey
someone
for
tells me, I'd be like,
intestinal.
no,
Yeah.
no, I'm not
Well,
going to
I'm
do
gonna
that.
pick it up then.
You can
Yeah.
you can check the name on the bag that you want. Where do you
Oh.
want this poop to go?
Well,
Yeah.
see, there you go.
Which representative
That-
would you like this poop to
you
go
are,
to?
yeah, you have pre-marked out bags, and it's like,
Yeah, with like check boxes.
yeah, if you're in
like-
there, you go to a dog park, California. Okay, is this going to Newsom? Is this going to
Yeah,
so and so? Yeah, people be like, all right, man, I'm coming back with my bulldog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm coming back with my overgrown 5-year-old.
And then if they want to,
On a leash.
contribute, they
Yeah.
can buy more bags
Got
from us.
celiac disease. Yeah. I'm liking this. Yeah, you can have a monthly subscription to poop sender.
Hey,
That's,
poop sender.
Poop sends a
Poop-
message.
Hey, Poop
It
Sender,
Poop
we've got-
sends a message.
I think this might be the first sponsorship
First
attempt that
sponsor.
we're ever going to have on this podcast,
First
and
and
it's going to
only.
be us.
only
trying to
one
get
I feel like I can ethically get
a
behind.
partnership with Poop Sender. Poop Center, please sponsor us.
Please
Yes.
send us
Thank
your
you.
poop. No.
Yeah, no, just give us a promo code. You don't have to give
Yeah,
me
help
any
us
money.
get some bags and some
Yeah.
organize some volunteers, and we're going to
Mhm.
get this thing rolling.
Oh man, if we were the podcast that was
The poop podcast.
the poop cast,
The poop sending podcast.
if we were the podcast supported
That
by
would be so
poopsenders.com,
I would
oh
fucking love
man,
that.
that's so much better than Hello Tushy.
That's
Oh
a
my.
life well lived right there. That's
Truly.
like what I always wanted to
We
be.
wanted to
I
make
think
our
the-
mark, our skid mark on the
Yeah,
world.
the skid mark on the
On Dan
underwear
Newsom's
of history.
porch.
Yeah.
Dan,
just
I
feel
voted
like,
for you.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
You wouldn't vote for that other
Oh,
MAGA
Seth.
yeah,
fucking
MAGA freak.
fuckhead.
I've met Dan Newsom.
Oh,
He's at
these-
least a
you
sane
know, and
person.
We're already like way over
Okay.
time, but also, Gavin Newsom's first guest, Charlie Kirk, on his podcast.
Yeah.
And he
fucking
agreed with him with
disgusting
a
and
bunch of
stupid.
bullshit.
And yeah, so
Fuck
we,
you, Gavin
we love
Newsom.
that. Yeah, fuck you, Gavin Newsom. You thought that you were gonna be
Dude.
president? Go fucking suck a dick in a gay bad way, in a way that's not, that's like homophobic somehow or something. Like I hate you because you are a
suck a
homophobe. You're a
dick.
transphobe.
Go suck a dick in a way that you're being
Suck my
used.
dick, idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Go get. That's what we're saying. That's what I say. Hey, Poop Center
There
doesn't
it
like that
is.
kind of language. They don't stand for that kind of shit. They stand for
Sorry,
elephant
Poop Center.
shit.
What? We don't stand for that kind of shit. That's low-level sheep shit. We stand for elephant shit and higher. We're getting up to human.
And we get a commie community. The joke in the polycule was like that we're always just passing around the same $20. Like when we like go to parties and like pitch in or whatever, we're always just like kind of doing that. You get enough people together that we can all just pass around the same $20 to each other, you know, and help support each other. So that's what the
Just
zine is
around
about.
shaking hands and saying,
This is politics.
Yes.
Yes.
sending
Man,
poop
that's
to everyone and
$20 this
saying,
week.
This
You
is
got it?
politics.
Yeah. I know. It's like I
is
need that
poopatics.
20. Yeah. And they
Can I
say,
borrow it
okay,
this
here.
week? Or-
we're going to have
Okay, great.
there's going to
Yeah, you
be
got
an
that 20?
article on page 12 of the New York Times, The Politics of Poop. How
Nice.
how a backwaters podcast in the Pacific
Yeah.
Northwest started giving certain Congress people the ick, and then some bullshit writing, you know. No.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what you get for
Yeah, they're saying
voting for
this
bullshit.
article.
actual bullshit.
You may think this article is bullshit, and it is. I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck you, New York Times.
Yeah. So what's not
Cease and desist.
full of shit. Is
Not
the,
a cool
inane
pun.
blather yeah.
Okay,
Immediately
That's
jump
funny.
up in the
right.
ratings.
shout out to RM Brown. We haven't.
Shout out RM
Anita
Brown.
who listened. Said she said I got called out for not listening, and I listened, and I got called out,
Oof.
and I was like, "That's
Not
how
good.
it works, bitch." Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Thanks
called
for
out, and so I
listening.
listened.
Owned. Consider yourself owned because you are.
Because you are. Love you, Benita.
Yeah,
It's
Love
pretty
you, everyone
important
listening.
to know that part.
Thanks, Vanita. Also, you post great memes on the internet. So
Yeah.
thanks
She
for
does.
that.
She is the meme curator of the commune.
is.
So
yeah. What's your
You know.
job gonna be on the commune? Meme
I am always
curator.
looking forward to her
and she's good at
stories, for
taking
sure.
care of plants, and she's always nice and chill. So she's the
She
perfect
does have
person.
good memes. I think I've seen in
Yay,
Instagram. Yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to our new still ardent listener, Amanda. Thank you. Like having fellow backwater lunatics listening with us. It's good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Don't spread the word. No.
Yeah.
But, and discontent provider. You mentioned
Gotta get you on the show.
yeah, you mentioned that.
discontent
So
provider.
yeah. Well,
We're gonna
Sounds
have
like
a
you're
live.
pretty into this, buddy.
We're gonna have a live inane blather this Friday. So if anyone's in the Tri-Cities area,
Yeah.
that sounds fun.
Come stalk
we're
us.
we're not recording it, but
Oh.
we will be talking.
That sounds
So-
cool, but
Yeah.
it's a pretty lame
is
way to
essentially-
celebrate your birthday.
Yeah. Get her some
Yeah.
just inane blather merch.
Well,
which we
happy
don't
birthday,
have.
Danae.
Yeah.
Good night
Yeah.
and good luck. And
Thank you.
Bitches leave.
okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Poopsenders.com.